I would like to thank my patrons supporting the channel and the creation of these videos. Flying text are used to display things like damage numbers or other status changes on a screen at the position of the combatant they affect. In this tutorial we'll create a prefab that will be used to create flying text in the UI. So the first thing that we need to do is open up our UI environment scene that we created earlier, and then from the context menu right click and choose Makinom. Then we go to UI and finally we select Flying Text Sprite Text Mesh Pro. Let me switch to the scene view so we can zoom in our flying text object. Now about the styling of our flying text, of course this icon, this sprite, is displayed by the flying text itself, so it is a child object over here, image component. So the first thing I want to always do is, if you don't want this icon interfere with raycasting, or you don't want to click on the icon itself, just turn out or turn off this raycast target. The next option that we want to change, of course, depending of the size of the text or the icon, you can resize this and fit it as you like. And the text itself is handled by Text Mesh Pro. So the first thing that we want to do in the text itself is disable the wrapping, or make sure it's already disabled. So let's scroll down in this component and we can see wrapping is already disabled. And one other thing I want to point out is that also the text can interfere with raycasting. So this is something that we need to check out. So we need to click in the extra settings from Text Mesh Pro component. It will open up a new set of options, and from here we can see this raycast target, so uncheck that one. To be honest, I don't know why the heck this is turned on by default, as well as in the sprite. I would say that it's easier for us to check that if we wanted to interfere with raycasting instead of doing the other way around. But anyways, out of the runtime, we can now make sure this styling is at what we want. So perhaps you want again to resize the icon size. I will leave it as it is. Well, let's follow the tutorial itself. So let's click on the image component here and let's change the width and height to 50 both. So there are because we are using the icons from the tutorial as well, so let's comply with that. And also we can see that the position itself is a little bit off. So in order to fix that, because this is our canvas, in order to fix this position, we are going to use content size filters. So let's select in this case the text game object. Let me collapse the Text Mesh Pro component, and we need to add a new component here. So let's select, click on add component and start typing content size filter. And we want to change the horizontal fit to be selected, preferred size, as well for the vertical preferred size. Now we are ready to save our flying text as a prefab. So let's create a folder here. We have what is it, prefabs, UI, and let's make another folder here, and let's say UI flying text, flying text, and let's drag our new prefab over this folder, and we can now remove the game object from the scene and save it back so it keeps a clean scene, UI environment scene. And after having our prefab, we can proceed and navigate and open the Makinom editor and navigate to the UI settings. So Ctrl Alt M to open the editor, and you can see that I'm in the latest version. So let's select the UI tab, and after that we need to navigate to UI settings, and in the UI settings we have also these Flying Text settings, and here is the UI prefab that we can add, or a slot where we can add our Flying Text prefab. Flying text are displayed at the position of game object. That means if we have a character, it will be like whenever the pivot of the character is. So normally it will be at their feet, and we don't want that. So we can actually use a offset of that position to properly display the flying text, and as well we can randomize the position where is displaying this flying text. So from here we have several options. The first one is to mount the flying text to the game object, so it will allow the flying text to follow, let's say, the character in this case, the player. And also we can use a game object as a child. So let's say the character, the player, has a game object called or named center. So this is the reference that we are going to use in order to display this flying text. Or you may have a game object called head as a reference in order to show this flying text above the head of the player, and so on and so forth. But following the tutorial, we leave it as center, and then down below in the position 0 settings we are going to set our random offset from. So the X we change to 1.5, minus 0.5 in the Y, and minus 0.5 in the Z. And from the random offset 2 we change the X to 0.5, 0.5 in the Y, and 0.5 in the Z. Let's change the settings. Sorry, save the settings. Anytime, Unity. Thank you. And that will be our basic setup for flying text. Next, let's cover up animating flying text. If you want to see more, please consider subscribing and supporting the channel. Thank you very much.